You know that moment when you open your fridge and it's totally full, but somehow there's nothing to eat? It's not a food problem, actually. It's a systems problem. And today I'm going to show you how to stop wasting food for good. Hello, my name is Anne, and I feed my family on a plant-based diet, which sounds totally serene and wholesome. But in reality, it often looks like someone asking for something to start on while I'm holding up a container and wondering, did I make this 2 days ago? And for a long time, I wasted a lot more food than I would like to admit. Not because I didn't care, and not because I didn't plan, but because every single meal felt like starting from zero. Okay, so let's talk about why we waste food. So here's the kind of uncomfortable truth about this that no one really talks about. Wasting food doesn't come from bad intentions. It comes from decision fatigue. You buy good food. You even prep some of it. But then 5:30 rolls around and you're just like, oh my gosh, what do I do? Should I make something new? Is that even still good? Why is there so much parsley right now? And instead of solving that puzzle, your brain does what brains do, and that is choose the easiest option, which usually means ignoring what you already have. So the food isn't the problem. The lack of a system is the problem. So here's the shift, guys. What changed everything for me was this. I stopped asking, what should I make tonight? And I started asking, what can I build from what's already there? Now, it's a small shift, yes. But it changes everything. Because now, instead of seeing random ingredients, you start to see components. The container of beans, protein, and carbs a little bit, as my husband reminds me, but largely protein. Leftover rice, a base. Vegetables, color, nutrients. And suddenly, you're not actually starting from scratch anymore. You are assembling. So let's talk about the eat first bin. Before I did this, leftovers would just kind of vanish, but they didn't vanish. They were still there. When it's time to make a meal, look in one place, that bin. Next up is to stop treating leftovers like leftovers. Leftovers essentially have a branding problem, don't they? No one is excited about leftovers. No one. Unless it's like lasagna. That's the exception. But reframe leftovers and suddenly it gets exciting. That soup, it's not leftovers, it is a head start. Blend it, it becomes a sauce. Heat it up and add it to grains, it becomes a bowl. Reduce it down and suddenly it becomes something you'd pay 18 bucks for. Same ingredients again, but it's a different story, see? Next up is to use your freezer. I used to use a freezer as a last resort, which was really, really naive of me and not a good idea. Freeze proactively, my friends. Make extra and chuck it in your freezer. Your future you will thank you and you will be so grateful. You will not be wasting food because you will be proactively stocking your freezer instead of it dying in the back of your fridge. Now, when you start doing these things, something's going to shift for you, I promise. Now, you're going to stop wasting food, yes, which is the win, which is what we're seeking here. But more importantly, this is important, dinner becomes calmer. There's less scrambling, and above all, there's less guilt around it, about the food that's not being wasted. There's less guilt here. If you're a parent, you already have enough mom guilt or dad guilt or whatever. You don't need more of it. And you have less of that like low humming stress in the background when you're in charge of feeding a family. Because you're no longer relying on creativity here. This is an exercise. Why does my computer do that? Thank you. You're relying instead on structure, not creativity and willpower, structure. So if you're listening to this and you're thinking, okay, yes, this is exactly my problem. Or, okay, Anne, cool, I get this, but how do I implement this? I've made something for you. And it's the exact system that I use during the week to feed my big, bustling, busy family. It's not recipes. And it is not complicated meal plans. It's literally just a few clear shifts that reduce decision fatigue, help you actually use the food that you buy, and make dinner feel handled. It's handled. It's called the Calm Meal Formula for busy families. It's completely free, just for you. It's linked below. Because once you have this structure, you can stop trying to figure out and refigure out dinner every night, because that's exhausting. You start just flowing with it. And trust me, that's when feeding your family gets so much easier. I promise you. So thank you guys so much for tuning in to Veggie Magnifique. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up. I would really appreciate that. And of course, if you're not subscribed yet, click the button to be subscribed so you don't miss out on future content. I would love to have you. And I will see you guys next time on Veggie Magnifique.